Welcome everybody to hour number 3 of Acts Media Group's. We're just having a good time here on Acts Ministries Telethon, our live stream telethon, and I'm here right now just telling you guys, be sure and call this number right there and donate if you haven't yet. We would really, really appreciate all you can do to help us. We are so honored to be able to even be here and to be able to do the things that we're doing right now. We want to continue to do the right thing, and we want you guys to help us out. And in doing so, you will be doing the right thing as well. This show is titled
Go Natural.
Go Natural.
With
Yes.
your hosts, Pam Whining and Dennis Everson. They're sitting
I
right
thought
over
he was
here,
ready.
in the other studio, just waiting for us to pan over to them. So, Jay, whenever you're ready, we're going to go ahead and get it on over to them. Are you ready? I wasn't, but I am now. All right, you're live over there? Okay, good. Now, Urge. There you go. Take it away, guys.
Okay, good morning.
Well, good morning, Pam.
Yes, my padre, we're going to do a couple shows together, so we're going to be, talking out both sides of our mouth.
Show buddies.
Show buddies, that is right.
Yeah.
And today we're in a show called Go Natural, and it's sponsored by the Natural Solution Store, .bz, in Belize, that's why that BZ. We're going to be talking about products. And Dennis, I was just talking to you before the show about, do you take any natural supplements, or what is your kind of regime that you could share with us?
The one that I really like with Natural Solutions is the balm that you have. The
Hemp balm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's really good. I know. I think Matt and maybe Jay's a fan of it too, but I don't know. But yeah, it works really good because I have like on my left knee, it's down to bone on bone.
Mm-hmm,
It hurts a lot, and put some of that on at night, and boy, that helps a lot. And then I was taking some of the CBD, but then a company I work for, they came out and said, well, you can't do CBD products.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's probably something we can get into during the course of the show, and some of the misconceptions, ideas, and thoughts people have about that, because I know it's getting big now, and Natural Solutions was making it available and had it, before it became the in thing to do,
Right, that's right.
Before it was cool. So.
Right, well.
So, yeah, I really appreciate Natural Solutions, and has been around for quite a while.
Oh, yes, yes.
Teaming up with Acts Ministry, and I don't know, maybe you can even tell us a little bit of the history of that.
Well, Natural Solution Store uses a pharmacy called Alchemist, and it's been around for a long time. They have their own pharmacy. They capsulize and keep all the products at a cool temperature, which is very important until they ship it out. And so they have their own chemists, and they test it. And so we feel really confident when we order from there, or we tell people about their products that they are good products, not like stuffing some marijuana in a capsule and selling out to you, and it's nothing like that. But today I'd like to talk about, I had some personal experiences, and again, I want to thank Natural Solutions Store for sponsoring us, and they got their money right in there, and we want to make sure they get their money's worth. But about a year ago, I was diagnosed with a kidney stone, and so I had to, it's my first ever, and it was, it's terrible pain. And I went to the doctor, and she said I need to get a ultrasound for it. So I was taking the ultrasound, and you heard the
Oh, yeah.
And she said, well, yeah, you have a kidney stone, you're passing, and you have another one which will pass. And she says, but you have a fatty liver condition. And I said, what? I said, I don't have any pain or anything. She said, well, fatty liver condition is something that really can take you down. It's hard to diagnose, and people only find out about it when they have something else checked. And then they found, and you can just imagine your liver about so big, and it's got this fat on it, and it just kind of weighs it down, and the liver then can't circulate well enough, the blood system, it can't purify, it can't, and the liver does a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. So visualizing it, I can see fat dripping off my liver, and isn't that disgusting? But
fat only looks good dripping when it's on a hamburger.
Yeah,
or
that's
something,
right.
Maybe.
Yeah, and then I can see that I have a paunch. A paunch. I shouldn't share this with just everybody, but I have a paunch, and if you have a paunch, it might be a You know, you need to kind of look at it. And maybe you don't need to go out and get yourself an ultrasound or whatever, but, you know, kind of has some plans. And so I asked, I said, well, what causes this fatty liver condition besides, you know, me and my fat, and I like my candy and stuff.
Right.
And she said, do you take ibuprofen? Or have you ever? And I said, well, yes, I have. And I said, I had foot surgery one time, long time ago, but the doctor prescribed 500 milligrams, like twice a day, I think, or maybe more, for my foot pain. He said, there's no problem. And I thought, man, that's a lot of, you know, that's a lot of
Right.
ibuprofen. And ibuprofen is one of the main causes of fatty liver condition. So you really, if you're going to use it, you should use it sparingly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's something that, you know, in our society we're so big on medicines and medications, and I mean, you know, it's like my sister will talk about, you know, everybody has their meds, and we've become a drug addicted society. You know, not talking about opioids and all that, but even in things like ibuprofen, things like, you know,
Right.
lowering your blood pressure, lowering your cholesterol, and well, like with lowering your cholesterol, people don't realize that their brain is mostly made up of cholesterol, and when you're lowering it, you can be affecting your brain. That's where we're getting all
Good.
the Alzheimer's and stuff, and people forget about all these different side effects, and I think that's where the natural solutions really come in and help,
Right.
because you're getting away from all the side effects. You're getting something that's natural. Your body can process it better, so you're avoiding a lot of that.
Right. So along with the ibuprofen, she asked if I was taking a multivitamin, and I don't, because I take vitamin E. I have some bone issues. I take actually E. I take vitamin D, and so I didn't say yes to that. But a lot of people do, and vitamin A is a very large amount of the multivitamin. So when you take that, you're also diminishing the use of your liver. So if you take a multivitamin, you need to take a look at what's in it. If there's a lot of vitamin A, you should kind of maybe try to find one that's not for you. Another one was, of course, my husband and I are not real big meat eaters or red meat eaters, but there's sometimes you just want a hamburger,
Oh, yeah.
or you know, every once in a while you want a steak, and red meat and processed meat. I like a hot dog, you know, Quick Trip, and they have those hot dogs in there. I mean, I
Oh,
want
gosh,
one,
yeah.
and I don't do it very often. But every once in a while I will. But
Not
processed,
something you go out of your way to get, but when you see it cooking there, you just
oh my gosh,
the
yes.
smell and you go, yeah, I
Yes,
think
it
I want
just
that.
looks so good. You know, that grease is going round
Yeah.
and round. But a red meat, processed meat, is something you want to don't do a lot of. And another thing is that on the other side of the coin is vitamin E. And I'm not sure that I take enough vitamin E. And I was asking about how you get vitamin E. Well, a lot of us, when you get older, need to take CoQ10. It helps stimulate the heart. And CoQ10 has a lot of vitamin E in it. So if you take CoQ10, if you're
Good for the
pre-diabetic,
brain as well.
yes,
isn't it?
good for the brain, healthy heart, and vitamin E is good for the liver. So CoQ10, if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic, CoQ10 is always on your med list. So how can and my doctor was saying, well, the good news is you can turn it around. You know, it's easier said than done. You know,
Right?
me losing weight is difficult. I have lost some weight, but it hasn't been like the keto diet. Let me tell you, it hasn't been that way.
Right. Yeah, it's like, you know, you'd think someone telling you, okay, it's in your ballpark, you can take care of this would be good news, but most of the time it's like, wait, no, I don't want to have to. Are you kidding? I've tried before. No, just
I know.
tell me there's a magic pill. Tell me there's a magic
Yes.
wand, something. you
Well,
know.
the keto looks like it, but I have my questions about that one. So if we can help turn this around, because I think there's probably more people than myself who have little paunches that probably have fatty liver condition that maybe don't know about it. But you can take CoQ10, get your vitamin E. You can take a product called milk thistle. Now, we have thistle out on the farm. We got it. It's a noxious weed. It's a purple flower. Some people think it looks good, but it's sticky and it's nasty. Nobody wants to eat it. Well, the good news is that it is used for health. It's as long as you don't put pesticides on it, which I'd like to
Right.
do. But you take it for health, the milk thistle is a great natural supplement for the liver. But I don't want you to just go out and say, I'm just going to buy some milk thistle. That's not it. It has to be blended. They usually blend it with the passion flower and another natural vegetarian type herb that mixed with the milk thistle that really helps. And that's probably the main ingredient for getting rid of or reducing your fatty liver.
Yeah, I think that's something else that, it's hard because you hear so many things with health and things like that, but with a lot of vitamins and amino acids and various things like that, even natural things, it is often better for it to be mixed with certain things so that your body processes it properly. And that's where going with a company like Natural Solutions that, specializes in getting it right. To go with, because we all have that tendency. We go to the store and we say, I need some iron, and there's some, and you buy it, and it's basically nothing but ground up nails put in a pill form. It's really not, your body's not processing it, but it was cheap. Well, you're not doing yourself any good just because it's cheap. If it's not, your body's not going to process it. Or I've heard of even like calcium products that are nothing more than ground up chalk. So
okay, we have a word from our television telethon.
Our guru.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, I'm back. You saw me just like 15 minutes ago. Show is going really good so far. We're a good chunk into the third hour of our telethon today. We're really excited. But yeah, we're here because of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, Acts Television Network, and we want to continue to let that number that you see behind them grow. We want to see that grow and grow and grow. You can call 417-597. It's right there. That's the number right there. I think so. Yeah. Even on YouTube. So call that number. Make a donation today. It doesn't have to be huge, although the bigger the better. We're not doing this this money doesn't go in our pockets, folks. This is not for personal gain. This is so that we can continue to do this and to expand our network. Because if we don't expand it, what are we doing? We're running in circles. We don't want to do that. We want to continue to do the right thing. Back to you guys.
Okay. We were talking about fatty liver condition, and we mentioned CoQ10, which gives you the vitamin E. We told you that the ibuprofen is something you want to stay away from. We've mentioned milk thistle, which is a combination of about 3 different herbs that's very good for it. Plus, staying away from red meat and processed meat. I want to mention another thing. I have a friend who's a nutritionist, dietitian, and even before I was into Natural Solutions, she was always big on liver cleanse, and you probably know who I'm talking about. And I always think, oh gosh, you sit around all day with your liver cleanse, and that just sounded disgusting. But the older I get, the more informed, I know she's right. We do need to probably cleanse, and I won't say like once a month, but maybe once every 2 months. It might be good just for our bodies, because a lot of people get colon cancer and things like that, and just kind of cleanse everything out is a great thing. I will tell you that the milk thistle, everybody wants to know the prices. The milk thistle is a real bargain. It's only $16.95, and I believe it has 60 capsules in it. The CoQ10, which most everybody should be taking, is $20.95 from naturalsolutionstore.bz, and the liver cleanse is $19.95. So it's a good deal. And these things are not just like 1 month. They're usually at least a couple of months, depending on how you use them.
And there is, you want to mention too, I know for some individuals that are wanting some things but don't have the funds, there's also the Helping Hands Fund is something that's available.
Right. There's a Helping Hands Fund with Acts Ministry. And if you want some of these products and you are really unable to afford them, there is a fund, and it has a limit to it. We do projects to get that money up. But you just apply for it. You email Acts Ministry and say, please send me the brochure or the application for that. Now, you can't be making $50,000, $60,000 and get this. But if you aren't making a lot of money and you really want to try one of these products, this is the way. And I thank you for bringing that up. Helping Hands Fund. Absolutely. And I want to mention that all of these products we're talking about today, if you are pregnant or if you are diabetic or you're on blood thinners or you're preparing for surgery, you really should consult your physician before taking anything.
Yeah, and the other place you can check too, like if you're taking different medications, things like that, even if it's over the counter, get to know your pharmacist. And a lot of times the pharmacists are really good about letting you know, hey, okay, yeah, if you're doing that, maybe, okay, don't take the vitamin E, check with the doctor, and they can really give you some guidance without you having to pay for a doctor's visit or anything like that. And
true.
if you're gonna have to get medications, and from time to time you will, get to know your pharmacist, have a local one that you can use, and just want to do a plug for them.
Yes, yes, absolutely. This topic I want to talk about next is kind of sensitive. It's for men, and as we get older, and that's men and women, our circulation gets a little slower. And when this happens, it is natural for us to maybe need a boost in our romantic department. So sometimes the V or the C works fine, but sometimes it doesn't. It depends also where you get your V and C. I'll just use those names here, because some are not the same as others. However, I have noticed with our customers, we have a lot of customers who do what we call a natural additional boost. And the one I'm talking about that I've heard the best, they don't tell me a lot because I'm a woman, but it's called number 2 nitric oxide boost. And you take it about the same time as you might take your V and C. And I've heard wonderful stories about how it works. And so, you might not, want to talk to everybody about it, but this is kind of a little secret, and I might as well tell people because that's, people want to have a nice romantic time.
Right.
They don't want any, I won't say anything else.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be careful with my words here. But I want to talk about that, and it's not that expensive, guys. It's $24.95 for 120 tablets. So
at least you can last at least a weekend with that, or something like that.
Oh my God!
Should last a little while. 120.
Yeah,
right?
I think it'll last quite a while. Yes. But anyhow, since we don't advertise it a lot, and it's kind of a silent, natural product, I want to share that with people because
absolutely.
If another thing doesn't work, you get really disappointed, and that's
and anytime you can go a natural way rather than medications, it's even like I like doing some gardening and stuff, and man, you can stay away from all the pesticides and things like that. The organics big and all that stuff, but it's just like why be eating poison? Why put poison on all your stuff when there's natural ways to do it? And sometimes it takes maybe a little more thought about it, and some people think it's more expensive, but in the long run, you're not taking in all this poison, you're not having all these side effects. Actually, it is cheaper, it is healthier for you.
Oh, yes.
And don't we want to enjoy our latter years? So.
That's right. And I'm glad you brought up, I was going to tell a story about the super hemp balm that you mentioned before. We've actually been at home, and people have called and said, "Oh, my elbow or my thing is," and I really, we don't have a pharmacy or anything, but we do keep some of our favorite, products handy in case we need to mail it out to somebody or whatever on a rush basis.
Right.
But we've had phone calls, in the evening and saying, I just can't get to sleep. Do you happen to have something? I'll drive by and pick it up. And it's a natural, solution, and so it is a very good solution for aches and pains. Now, I will be honest with you. All the when you use something like that, don't think it's going to work for 8 hours. Okay,
Yeah.
Any of these natural solutions are less potent than the chemical ones.
Sure.
Which is probably better for your body.
Yep.
Okay, so it may mean that every 4 hours you have to put something on.
Right.
But you're going to get rid of it. It's going to be a natural way. You aren't injuring your stomach or liver or something like that.
Yeah, the reason it's healthier for you that way is because you're not having all these ups and downs,
Right.
highs and lows.
That is absolutely right.
And for some individuals, if you've had certain medications you had to take, you probably experienced that where it's like, oh, it's working real good for an hour, and then no, it's not. No, not.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's that lower, more even dosage, that's what makes it healthier.
And that one, and I want to just tell people, it's just that about every 4 hours you're going to have to reapply it. And then sometimes it's just arthritis, and so after a day or so, it's going to go away. So you don't want to. Another one of our products, and we've sold out, is Mellow Up, and it's a hemp product. Yeah, I don't think it's there. It's a little.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
I knew I saw it.
Hey, good. He's a little guy. Mellow Up. It's a hip product, and we sell a lot of this. I'm trying to pull out things we've sold a lot of. It is for people who want helps their thinking be sharper. And I will tell you, I don't think any of these products, that especially for the brain, you're not going to take one tablet one day and think, oh yeah, man, I can finish that
Right.
puzzle, and it's not that way. It's like a build-up. And so you probably need to take at least 2 weeks, and maybe a whole 30, 45 days worth, before you're going to tell a difference. And I will tell you, I haven't taken this one, but I've taken H5-HTP, which is a brain enhancer, and I found when I taken it that I can compare myself doing a puzzle when I didn't do it and doing a puzzle when I was taking it, and it's a big difference. I was quicker, I was more attentive, I could stay with it longer. So it's
I think
good.
that does happen sometimes because we get so used to some of the chemical ones that are quick acting, and
Yeah,
we
right.
notice a difference right away. But again, you're getting that shock to the system, and then it's gone. And to pay attention when we take the natural ones, and to give it the time and to pay attention, and then to look at something like that, doing the puzzle, doing this thing, and realize, oh yeah, it is working, because it can be subtle at first,
Right.
and just in the same way us losing our memory and
Yes.
things like that is kind of subtle. Bringing it back can be subtle, and so maybe making some markers even and testing ourselves in some way
Yeah,
can be
I
helpful.
recommend that. Yeah, but Mellow Up is for clearness of thought. It's also if you're kind of moody or edgy, have an edge on.
What do you mean by that?
Yes, exactly. If you tend to be moody, you have some real highs. Mellow is a very good product for that. And I've seen probably most of it being used for people who have PTSD that are doing okay, but they can tell when something is like too many bright lights, too loud of music,
Sure.
something sets them off, fireworks or something, that if they take this beforehand, they say that they're calmer, they're able to handle it in a more normal, natural way.
Have you heard of anyone like with ADD or any of those types of things?
I haven't heard that, but it sounds like it might be.
Yeah.
It kind of,
Couldn't hurt.
No, it's a natural product. It is a little pricey. It's $58, but it's a hemp product, and I'm a real believer in hemp products. Hemp is just, it's a great product. Eating, rope, in products like this.
Yeah, actually,
it's great.
let's talk about that for a second too, because I know like with CBD oil, it's a lot of things that are being talked about, and there's stores popping up all over the place,
right.
and you don't always know what you're getting, but some people still don't understand because it's from marijuana, and then of course we just got in Missouri, we just had the medical marijuana go through, and people wanting to do that, and it's totally different product than what marijuana would be. Why don't you explain the difference a little bit?
Well, I'm not a pharmacist or
Right.
anything. They're both plants,
Mhm.
and I think I'm not mistaken. The THC, there's a THC in a hemp, and there's a THC in cannabis. Those stores that you see pop up, the CBD stores, which I expect that they will kind of diminish. I think we've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
some kind of diminish. They don't have the THC.
Right.
And unless you had something topical, just right on the top, and you put it on there, it's really not going to work. I hate to say that, and I have friends who, have invested in those stores, but it's not that good. But if you can get a product that has the THC, like they sell in Colorado and maybe other foreign places that have pharmacies,
Yeah, because
they'll have
there's
a little.
yeah, there's the CBD, which is the natural things that
Yeah.
doesn't get you high.
Right.
The THC does. I know even in the area of like autism and things like that, I know of individuals that have gone to places where they had access to the CBDs and the medical marijuana and things like that, and there were actually places that would look at a child and their needs and grow specifically for that child, and they've seen
Right.
great results with areas of autism and things like that. And so there's a lot of different issues when you get into those things, but the CBD products that you guys have is not something that people are going to buy and get high on and anything like that.
No.
Medical marijuana, then you're starting to get into more of those
Right.
things, and
Right.
it's certainly a big issue. But the CBD has seen a lot of great effects for pain management,
Seizures.
and a lot of areas.
Seizures,
Yeah.
a lot of seizures and epilepsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in your children have disabilities that their brain has a lot of different gears.
Right.
It's miraculous for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're not getting high. They're just relaxing. Their brain and nerves are relaxing so that they can enjoy life and they can talk. They aren't so disturbed that they can't talk. So it's great. It is great. I want to talk about two of my probably my favorites, and one I've talked about before is Aronia. And if you ask people, are you pre-diabetic? And I would say if I talk to 10 people who and ask them if they are pre-diabetic or they have diabetes, I'd say probably 6 of them will say they do. And the other 6, they probably somebody might, and they just don't know it. And no one wants to go to the insulin. That would be awful.
Right.
No one. You do, and you have to try to control it. And like eating sugar and that sort of thing, my doctor finally shared with me, there's something in your enzymes that you want to have sugar, and you will crave it at certain times. And so I have to, eat lots of natural fruit and things like protein. It helps me. But Aronia is something I've always taken. It is not like, I'm going to take, 2 tablets every day and I'm going to be not pre-diabetic. No, but if you watch your blood, and my doctor draws my blood, she'd probably, if she could, 4 times a year. But I try to, sneak out at least one of those. And she watches it and compares it. And she'll notice that when I'm taking this on a regular basis, it'll go down several points. Now, it may not get me not pre-diabetic, okay, but it certainly helps me. It helps the blood sugar, like I just talked about, colon health, blood pressure, and eye inflammation. So if you have, I don't have that.
Is that the one that Jim had real good results on too?
Yes, he had, and this is the one that has choke beer. I want to tell you a story on this one. I was telling a person about that Aronia, they need to take Aronia, and my son was telling this guy he needed to take Aronia and help him with his sugar, because he was talking about how he had real bad, sugar numbers. And then we told him the story. The main ingredient is chokeberry. And chokeberry is a bush that grows naturally in Missouri. And I think they want to take a break before I finish. I'll come back and tell you my story.
Okay.
Well, we go ahead and, oh, wrong one. Sorry about that, everybody. I hit the wrong button, and I've got the wrong thing here. All right, so let's try this again. All right, hey, welcome, everybody. It's been fun so far, and not doing too bad, I don't think, for our first telethon. Again, great job. I personally want to comment on one of the products that I use from naturalsolutionstore.bz is the Super Hemp Balm. It doesn't make you high or anything like that, but it does work. I can't stress this enough. If you've got chronic pain and you're tired of taking narcotics, go online to naturalsolutionstore.bz and check it out. We got a show coming up here in just a little bit talking about the Helping Hands Fund. If you can't afford it, Helping Hands Fund is there to be able to help you to be able to, because you need this stuff. I'm telling you, ibuprofen is bad for you. I try not to take it anymore when I found out it was crystallizing my lungs. Got my son walking in the back right there. Good job. This one? I just need to talk more into it. Sorry about that. That was great. That's my son. He's getting ready for the contest coming up starting at 6 o'clock. But again, go to naturalsolutionstore.bz and check it out. You see the link right down here. If you're watching on YouTube, there's actually a little thing you can snap a picture of, and it'll take you right to it if you have a QR code reader. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to them. Just remember, Acts Ministry, we're here to do the right thing and to serve where needed, and we need your help to do so. Our goal is to expand, not to just sit on our laurels. We want to continue to grow. We want to continue bringing our message of doing the right thing, serving where needed, out to the world. We already have constant broadcasting in Germany. We have some in Spain, China. I'm pretty sure I already said Germany once. Japan. But we want to be in every single country that we possibly can be, and we need your help to do so. Back to you guys.
Okay, great. Talked about chokeberry, and so, people are sometimes pretty cheap. So my son tells him, aronia is one of the main ingredients is chokeberry. And so he goes out, and he has a friend who has the chokeberry, and he goes and takes a bunch of the, the berries and just chomps it down, thinks he's doing a great job. And just like we talked earlier, it's not the ingredient by itself, but it's mixed with other that makes it more palatable for our body. But on this aronia, it is the main ingredient is chokeberry, and it's again mixed with the passion flower. And then there's another one that it's hard to pronounce, so I'm not going to try to pronounce it. But it does a good job, and it's one of those that you have to take for a period of time. And I kind of watched it. My doctor, she wanted to experiment with it.
Sure.
So she said, okay, now I want you to take, I think she said, one every day, aronia every day. And then in 2-3 months, she wanted me to get in for a blood test. And we checked it, and it was like, 3 or 4 points down.
Yeah.
And I hadn't changed anything else.
And that's the benefit of doing things, even healthy things, with your doctor's supervision to help you know, because they can know what kind of tests to run, as far as blood tests or something like that, and to check things. And hey, this is working. Why just trust on how you feel and those types of things? But get the documented proof. Hey, this is what's working.
Right. So then after that, she said, well, that's good. She said, well, let's try, because this is, and she read up about it. She said, let's try 2 a day. So I went back home and I took 2 aronias a day. And I went back in, and I think if I remember correctly, I had like maybe 6 points down. It still wasn't getting me out of being pre-diabetic, but I was getting kind of close to the diabetic, and they're always changing numbers on it.
Oh,
you notice that?
Yeah.
This was acceptable 5 years ago, but now you have to have this lower number or something. And so I became a believer on it.
Yep.
Yeah, so Jim and I both take it. Again, natural solutions are not going to be like, take it today and you're cured tomorrow. But they're going to be gentler on your body and for long lasting. And by the way, we want to mention that we're here, and if there are viewers out there that have some questions about, again, I'm not an expert, and I don't know if you're an expert on this.
No, I'm not an expert.
But we have our own bodies, and we have our own testimony and that sort of thing. And I've heard a lot of stories about what works and what doesn't work. Please text us in or email us, and they'll tell us what the questions are, and we'll try to answer.
Larry Melton had asked what pharmaceutical company that you used, and I think it's Herbal Alchemist.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
Herbal Alchemist.
Herbal Alchemist.
Yeah,
So.
and they have a plant in I think it's Arizona. I've seen pictures that I have not visited. I have visited with the guy who owns it, who is the chemist on it, and we've seen, and he's talked about how he keeps everything, refrigerated and cooled, and it's not going to be on the shelf like,
Right,
Walmart.
because that's a big difference too. I mean, if things aren't handled properly, you get different temperature variances and things like that. You got some big semi truck going to some store, and it's just packed with everything else. It's not refrigerated, nothing. They're out driving in the 100-degree heat.
That's right.
That product gets there. It's not going to be the same as it was if it's taken care of and smaller quantities produced so that they're not sitting on the shelf forever. Those things make a difference. There is a time factor. It's like, think about going in your garden and you pick a tomato, a nice ripe tomato. You don't want to eat it 5 months from now.
No. Oh, no.
So, fresh is definitely better.
Right. That's a very good question. I'm glad he asked that question because, if you go to Walmart and you buy something that's not capsulized, but it's that hard capsule,
Yep.
and you open up the bottle and you see the the dust or the residual effects, not effects, but
Right.
from the pill. And so that's not good. That's not good. You want it capsulized, and you want it done.
And by capsulized, you mean it's like that plastic kind of looking thing?
Yes.
It's not plastic.
Yes.
It's
Disintegrates with
it's
right.
organic, but that looking thing, not just some hard tablet that's pressed in the.
Yes, stamped out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I appreciate that. So please get those calls or questions in so that we can answer them. Another thing I want to talk about, and it's one of the least expensive things that we sell. And I said we don't sell, Natural Solution Store doesn't sell a lot of things, but what they do sell, they really stand behind. They have some, like shampoos and conditioners and that sort of thing. I have to tell you, I don't use them because they're kind of pricey, but there are for people who have allergies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, and so a lot of people, I had I won't say a friend, is a lady I knew, and she almost died with her allergies, and they couldn't figure out what it was.
Oh, yeah.
And so she had to have special shampoo, and
Because a lot of the shampoos, I mean, they got all these perfumes and chemicals and all
yeah.
kinds of stuff that, people that are sensitive to things, it could be really harmful.
well, if you've ever had, there's one shampoo that talks about this part of your body and this part of your body, nameless here, and I would sometimes use it because I thought I had dandruff or something, which I didn't. But I used it, and I almost passed out with the fumes that stuff puts out.
Yeah.
And I thought, whatever I have, I don't need this. I don't need
Right.
this, and a lot of them have wax, wax in their shampoos and stuff that are not,
Make it shine.
yeah, make it shine and attach to your scalp and not get loose. So they do sell some of those, but they are kind of expensive. And I'm honest with you, I don't have allergies to that, so I don't do that. But I do know people who do, and that almost died, and they do buy the soap or the shampoo that are just really pure, really pure. But I was digressing.
That's all right.
A lot of my friends are tea drinkers. I drink it sometimes. I don't really drink coffee, and they say coffee is really good for you too. But green tea is something that if you read all the what's good for you kind of things, drinking, water, and green tea is one of them.
Yeah, green tea's big.
Now, green tea is great, but how much green tea do you have to drink to really do the green tea stuff? And I think you'd have to be drinking a lot of green tea. Because, usually a person has a cup in the morning, dip, 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 and you try to look for some color in the, in the cup, and it's like yellow or green or something, and it doesn't have a lot of taste, but it's supposed to be good for you. And I have some friends who, they like green tea, and they'll just, drink it, maybe one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Again, I'm not an expert on how much green tea you have to improve yourself, but I have been told that this is a green tea energy. So, there's nothing wrong with having your green tea, but you might want to supplement it since green tea is so good for you. And this is a little boost. It's 90 pills, and it increases energy and focus, which I don't know about you, but I certainly could.
Well, if we're going to do 12 hours today and 12 hours tomorrow, why don't we just crack that thing
crack
open?
the bottle and just take a couple here. Oh, we're not good. We're not good. But it boosts the energy and focus, which we may have to take a little later on. It assists our memory so we know what we're talking about, because we're going to be on another show here pretty soon. Yeah, what are we talking about now? And it boosts alertness. And so we may have to crack this open and have a couple of these. But this can be taken without the green tea, like having it, or it can be taken with the green tea and just give it a boost and give it
I see it a lot in they have it in like diet sections and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see it because of that that little bit of extra, and again, it's that light, that natural kind of energy boost and stuff that helps with suppressing some appetite for some individuals and things like that. And,
I need that.
And again, it's like with anything, we're all different. All of our bodies are different. It's all chemistry, all of our chemistry is different, and so it's always good to have a doctor on board or a good certified nutritionist to help you in making those kind of decisions and moving forward with that. where like your doctor's saying 2 a day on something, for somebody else half a day might be good.
Yeah.
And that's, having some of those individuals on board can help with that.
I don't think we can say it enough that you need to, if you're doing something dramatic, you need to consult your doctor, because everybody's body is different, and sometimes you may have something you don't know that you have. Like I didn't know I had fatty liver till they looked for my kidney
And like
stone.
we both said, we're not experts on it.
No.
We're not trying to diagnose anything or tell you
No.
what to do. We're just giving you a natural option that is a good quality stuff.
Yeah, good quality stuff, and it's fresh. I mean, when they make it, it's not going to be on the shelves because he doesn't keep tons of it. He'll let me know that I have 5 bottles is left or whatever.
Right.
So I know when people order that I can say, well, I think you
And
can
that's
have
the
it.
way you want it to be.
Yes, that's exactly the way you want it to be. But what was I going to say here? Oh, on the the green tea energy, I have had a lot of people say they really like this. So keep that in mind. Another one I wasn't going to talk about too much, but a lot of people take omega-3, and again, it's that one, not one thing, but it's 3. And again, it supports the brain, the heart, and joint health. And I don't know about you, as you get older, when the barometer push down while you can feel it. So this is a good one too that we get a lot of orders for.
Absolutely.
So anyhow, we wanted to pass that information on to anybody, and if anybody has a question on this, we're open to answering questions.
Natural Solution Store, they can find it at
The naturalsolutionstore.bz on the website, www.naturalsolutionstore.bz. We like that BZ.
Yep. And if you have questions on like the Helping Hands Fund, if you need some help with the finances, you can see all the products there.
Yes.
Let us know. And that's some of the things that we do with Acts Ministry is we want to support all kinds of health, not just spiritual health, but mental, physical, all those things, and individuals and companies that we can have on to help support those things, we want to have.
That's right. I guess we need a break here talking about the Acts Ministry Telethon.
All right, you ready, Jay? What am I looking at, you might be asking? The answer is I don't know. I'm just thinking about how amazing that this ministry has been as far as keeping my head above water, keeping me busy so that I'm not tempted to go out partying and drinking and stuff. So that's one life changed. One life changed with the help of this ministry. One life. I don't know if you guys know how big that is. That is huge. That is a life full of difference for one person. I remember a story told about a bunch of starfish that wash up on the... You guys remember this story?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
A bunch of starfish washed up on the shore, and a little boy picking up one starfish, throwing it in the water. Another starfish, throwing it in the water. And a man came up to him and said, "What are you doing? You're not ever going to make a difference with that." And the little boy looked up and he said, "You know what? I made a difference in that one's life. I made a difference in that one's life." We want to be the little boy throwing the starfish out there. We want to grab them by the handful, though. But we can't do that without the proper funding. And that's why we're doing this telethon. So if you haven't yet called 417-597-4821, please do. Every little bit helps. We want to continue to grow and to continue to do what we do. So that being said, back to you guys.
Okay.
If I
Back
can get
to,
you over here.
well, I've talked about a lot of our products. Some of the products, and I wasn't going to bring it, you'd probably be happy. We have natural products. We sell some hot sauce on there. Yeah. So you have a special kind of hot sauce. We also have...
It's habanero hot sauce.
yes.
Habanero.
Yeah. And we also call it kick-ass llama beans.
Mm-hmm.
And we sell that as a bag of llama beans, and it's fresh from our farm, very natural, very natural. And
Don't eat the beans.
And no, do not eat the beans.
Don't boil them. Do
No.
not try to make rice with them. That'd be a pretty crappy
Yeah.
dinner.
And the llama on the ad is one of our. I say llama. It's not a llama. It's a donkey. What am I saying? It's called Kick-Ass Llama Beans, and it is a donkey on there. And he's promoting the llamas, I guess. I don't know. But we do sell that. And it's the llama beans are really good for your bushes. Like my husband and I, we've been busy working on our house.
Mm-hmm.
And we bought some inexpensive rose bushes, and you can plant them in the fall,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't really want them to start blooming or growing. You want them to
Right.
kind of go in the dormant. But what you can do is put llama bean juice. You kind of soak llama bean juice and take the juice and then put it around your rose bushes. It doesn't act like, tomorrow I'm going to be blooming, but it just stays in the soil and kind of gives it nitrogen.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it comes spring, then you're ready to go. And it's very inexpensive. We have our neighbors come over, and they like to get, a bag, and then they let it set, and they use the juice part.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can take, you don't want to do the really ripe, and we wouldn't sell you the real ripe llama
Right.
beans. You want the decayed llama beans, and put them around your all your plants, your area. Like if you're going to put hostas somewhere for next, spring,
Sure.
put it in the soil right where you want to put them. And then the winter will invigorate them and tear up the soil. Kind of what do you call it? The word I want to use is make it soft,
Mm-hmm.
so that when you do plant them, that their little roots can just go like nothing. All of
Nice.
your trees, and it can go over everything, and it's all natural. We don't use pesticides in those areas where the animals go to the bathroom and that sort of
Right.
thing.
Right.
So.
Awesome.
Anyhow, we have that. I'm not sure why I guess we call it kick-ass, but if they're llama, we're not selling donkey poo.
Got to
We're
call
just
it something.
Yeah, I guess. So anyhow, but they appreciate it when we kind of clean up their area and take and sell their products.
Sure.
Do we have any other calls or any questions that people may have? I know we're running short of time here. I won't do a slow close like Dr. Paul does.
Yep. I think we're good on the questions. So.
Okay, we got those questions.
But so you just went over a few of the products, and there's quite
Oh.
a few other ones. So go to the Natural Solutions.
Solutionstore.bz, www.naturalsolutionstore. It's kind of long.
Mm-hmm.
Naturalsolutionstore.bz, and you'll have about 3 pages of products that the Alchemist people produce, and then plus some of our llama beans.
And it wasn't something that just like, oh, we just need some natural thing. We'll just find something random and start doing it. You guys did some research. You
Yes.
really did due diligence to find the right products. And that's why it's not like a huge amount of products, but it's the select quality products. And
Right.
I mean, that's the way you want to go. Sometimes there's individuals or companies that try to get so broad on stuff that they really don't do anything real good.
Right.
They just do a lot of things halfway, half donkey style.
Yeah.
But better to have some that have that more specialized. And I really appreciate Natural Solutions and all the products that are available. How much is the green tea? We have to get some out
Now, the
today.
green tea is a real bargain. It's $12.95 for 90 units.
All right, sold.
Yeah. So it
Well,
is
that
a
does
very
all
good
come in handy
product.
today.
Yeah. I may have to have a couple myself here, but the duration of this.
I'll share with others.
But anyhow, we just appreciate everybody listening today and taking a look at the website. If you have questions, you can contact people on the website, and they can tell you. We even have Dr. Wilkie have a presentation. If you really he's a medical doctor, so you can contact him, and he will give, I think, 10 minutes free advice, if he thinks that it'd be okay or you need to go to your doctor. So we appreciate you
that's
tuning
awesome.
in.
And and that's the kind of stuff that we do with Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group. Also, if there's individuals that are watching and you are an expert in different fields and things like that, we'd love to have you come on sometime and
Yes.
share some things. Maybe come on the morning drive or come on another show. Or we're wanting to expand more and more what we're doing, what we're making available. And one of the things that we want to do is awareness. And there's a lot of great ministries out there, a lot of great products out there, a lot of great individuals out there that are doing wonderful things. And we want to be able to share that with others, so people can make informed decisions and have those options.
And we want sponsors. We want to thank Natural Solutions Store for sponsoring this
Absolutely.
time. And we're looking for other sponsors today. We had the State Bank of Southwest Missouri on, and I think they're going to be interested in maybe being a sponsor for Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group.
We talked to Tom before he left about us partnering up more and more with
Yes.
the ministries that he's working with and things like that, and he's definitely excited about doing that. And we're just going to keep expanding. For our goal, we're at 2,000 right now, so
2,000.
call in, give
Yes.
some more. Yeah.
Okay. So don't be shy. 417-597-4821, and a lovely voice or a handsome guy will be answering the phone and be able to take down a few numbers, and you can plug in. And if you'd like for us to mention your generosity, we'd be happy to mention generosity if you pledge with us. We this afternoon at 6 o'clock we're having a talent show. There's kind of a lot of excitement about that.
Yep.
And so we have some talented people going to be doing some juggling and singing and poetry and that sort of thing. So it takes $1 a vote on that. So and then they're going to get down to the last, I think, 4 top ones. And then they're going to be on tomorrow night at 6 to 8. And then I'm excited about Billy Burris, Pastor Billy Burris down in Branson. He's Mr. Keys.
Yeah.
And so we have a piano, and he is going to, if you call in, and if he can, he will play your song for a little bit of dough.
Yeah. Oh, and he can play.
Oh, he can. I've already got some money in. I'm going to have my husband's favorite is Over the Rainbow.
Oh yeah.
We're going to play that, and then I have a high school, grade school friend, and Wilma Jean Schmidt, and she does. I don't know if she knows it yet, but she her first piano show that I saw was when she played Moon River. And so I'm going to dedicate Moon River to her today. So that's going to be kind of fun to see if she turns in and see if she can see it. So look at us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and like us and be a part of us.
Yep. If you're not a follower, subscriber, subscribe.
Yes.
And if you haven't given yet, give.
Yes.
Everything helps, and we can really use some monthly donations. You know, do $1 a month.
Yes.
That'll help.
That's right.
Enough people do it. Don't be shy.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for your donation. I know you're going to do that for us. I really appreciate it. Thank you.